Hi all, right, welcome back to more The Other Side of the Hill solo. That's my part 21. I have just came straight back from finishing part 20, which was more talk about rules and comments than much gameplay, but however, well, hopefully, well, there's nothing more to talk about because I've just come straight back, so um, what other things might crop up. Right, anyway, let's get moving on with the Western Offensive. Um, operations. We're in the summer of 1941 still, and this is the second operations segment to go through. So, Western Offensive, again, there's no landings. So, combat pawns, well, they're pretty much going in the same areas, I believe. So, we're getting one in Spain. Well, hang on. Disputed one first. So, we're getting one in Libya, and then one in Spain, because Northern Africa is adjacent. One in Turkey because we've got Iraq, Iran adjacent, and one in Middle East because we've got Iraq, Iran adjacent, and Egypt adjacent. And that's it. So it's just the same as the last time. Now, yeah, we've not had the chance to move this at all, so this is really bad. So I think I'll do this one first in the hope that if we do draw an event, it might help with that. You never know. It's wishful thinking, I know, but anyway. Okay, so we've done the combat pawns, right? Hang on. Right, so check in for Spain. Still 1941. They're on the attack. Here we go. Combat card. 1941 attack. Ooh, yuck. So it's one plane and three dice. So there is going to be a combat. Well, maybe it was the best place to do that one in. Hopefully we can get luckier with the cards for the other three areas that are going to give them the extra white dice here. Anyway. Right, so we've got to pick our generals, right? Well, this is... We don't get Kesselring for this one because this is a Western. We've no OB. So it's Strauss. Let's see if he's doing anything. And where's a combat? The combat's in rough, so that's good. Yeah, they're attacking us into Valencia. Strauss is if we were attacking, so there's no point looking at any more of that. So he's not any good. We need a leading general. Oh. Well, that was silly then. Damn it. That was very silly. Because I've got Runestead available. I'm going to have to use him. Am I not? How have I blundered that? Am I missing something there? Have I just really blundered my way into that? After getting rid of the 7 so that I can access the 5s now, I've put this guy... Well, I didn't have any vacancies. He's no good to me in combat either, so... If at least one German army is involved in the combat, you must activate a leading general from the available generals pile with both the highest or second highest seniority. Oh, highest or second highest. So, yeah, that's how you get around that. So, it can be the 10 or the next highest, which is the 6s. So, I do get access to the 6s. I just don't get access to the 5s. Right, that was a bit of a relief, because I don't think I want to use him for this, do I? I'm not saying that I really need to find somebody that's going to do anything, but Rommel can't be used in Spain. That's against the Soviets. That's... yeah, none of the guys are any good. So Rommel would be able to use in Libya or the Middle East for that matter, so I probably should keep hold of him. Defending in river. What's... that's defend... I'm going to be defending in plains in Libya. defending in plains and Middle East, and defending in rough in Turkey. Well, he can only be used in Denmark and Norway. I'm just going to use him. I can't. There's nobody that can help me. So, I mean, even von Rundstedt, if I wanted to use him, can't help me. But cause he's there, it's stopping me getting at the 5s. That was a mistake, wasn't it? I should have definitely made sure I was putting him on the board. I should definitely have made a vacancy. Can I rewind that? Not really, Grant. It's a bit cheeky, isn't it? My initial thought was I was going to be able to get 5 armies in there and then be able to have the second AG head in there, and that was going to be von Rundstedt, but I didn't have the movement left. I should have made sure that was happening. Right, okay, well that's my bad. Right, fair enough. So, yeah, we're going to be sort of struggling between the 6s there. I mean, Rommel might get used right enough. Okay, so these do nothing for us. That right? Yeah, they're both for attacking. So, well, before the actual combat, we're getting 1 aircraft result. So we roll 1 aircraft, and, well, to be honest, no, there's no point. Oh no, this is in the Western Front, so yeah, in fact, yeah, we don't want an aircraft for this, because that means an extra dice for, because this is sitting at the 2. It's sitting in the 2 box. Oof, good. Tank, right, so no effect there, because, yeah, I mean, look up there, we were in the 2, that would have dropped to 1, because this is in the Western Front. Okay, so they're rolling 3 dice. So, well, let's just get that rolled first, Grant. Sorry, I should have paused there. Right, they're rolling 3, we can't do anything about it anyway. The attack is in rough. So, I don't know, I think that's 2 hits, isn't it? I think it's 2 hits. Yeah, it's an aircraft. Oh no! Yeah, well no, that'll knock it down at 1. It will knock it down at 1, so that will count as a reduction in air naval, and they are just both hits, aren't they? Yeah, it's not in planes. So 2 hits. They're going to get. We're rolling a black and 2 grey, so it looks pretty good. But we're also getting 1 extra white because we are in. We're defending in rough. Where is that bit? Axis combat roll. +1 white die defending in rough terrain. So I'll have that. We're not attacking anyway. We can't use paratroopers. Right, okay. Right, we need to. Well, we really need 3 hits there. They've got 2, so. Here we go. Yes, 3 hits. And an event. That's good then. Damn it, again. Sorry, hang on. Right, Grant clumsily knocks the camera over again. I'll probably just not bother like the last time and just let it play out. I don't think I didn't swear, did I? I think you got a damn from me. So we're okay. Well, hopefully that's okay. Right, that was the result. Let's squint that way. I need to watch because it's flimsy enough, this thing. I'm surprised it's still hanging on. So yeah, we got 3 tanks, so 3 hits to their 2. However, we do have an event, so combat event to deal with first. There's only 1 left. So let's see what we get. Troops escape encirclement. If the USSR is not at war, this goes to the next year. That's not. Combat is with the Western faction. You'd put it away. Cancel 1 hit. That's combat roll. So it's Yeah, it's only against the Soviets, doesn't it? So it just goes to next year's selection of combat events. So I'll put that down the bottom. And so that takes care of the event. Right, we've got an aircraft result to take in the Western Front. So that does get knocked down to 1. So our naval control is getting slaughtered badly now, so that takes that away. And fortunately, we've got 3 hits to their 2, so we succeed in the combat. Nothing happens. Combat card goes away. Strauss goes back to in command. This guy just goes away. And yeah, that's the combat in Spain dealt with. Okay, right, we've got 3 over here now. Right, I mean, I realised that I should have done this one first the last time, I think, because we ended up this going down to 1, but it doesn't really matter this time, and we're not going to get this going up anyway, are we? I don't think. I'm just going to do this one first then. Does it really matter? All of them are benefiting from Kesselring, so let's get him out and remind ourselves. So it's defending in rough, which is not the case here, but it is in the other 2. No, it's not. It is in Turkey, but it's not in the Middle East. So, right, we'll just do Libya first. So there's no AG ahead. Right, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. If I use Runestead, is that silly? I use them just to get some access to these 5s to help out a bit. I mean, I can see I've made the blunder and should have him up there, but if I put him into one of these combats right now, well, I don't want him getting questioned because he's got a 2, whatever the reference to that is again, I can't remember it. He's not going to help in any of the combats. I think, what's the best one? Yeah, I'm going to do Turkey first. So Kesselring's still involved, and he is going to apply because this is defending in rough. So he's going to get the grey instead of the white die for the rough. Hold on, we've not drawn a combat card yet, Grant. Yeah, I suppose I was just wondering which one I was starting. But it makes more sense doing this first and maybe just using Runestead. We are coming to the end of the year anyway. Well, the fall. We've just got the fall to go. And although this guy's good, you know, I think I'm going to do that and then I can access these 5s. So, I'm going to draw a combat card. Is there something's bugging me about having that Runestead in the available? I think it's right. I think there's no vacancy. There needs to be a vacancy for me to put him out there. And because I kind of messed it up a bit, there's not a chat. I can't just watch them about. So I think he is meant to be there. However, the fact you're allowed to use the next lowest seniority I'm available allows me to not just have to pick him, but I'm thinking it's going to be more beneficial to pick somebody else for these. Well, I'm saying that. I've not looked at the 5s, but I think it might be. So we're going to do Turkey first. So let's draw a combat card for Turkey. There might not even be anything. Right, so 1942. Oh, it's just a copy of the last one. So it's 1 aircraft and 3 dice. Yikes. Again. Okay, so our generals. We've got Kesselring. He is going to benefit us. We've got von Reichenau, who is the one that we made a mistake of before, I think. Because he's not, he's only on attacking, isn't he? Yeah, he's on attacking. That's a mistake that I made before. So he does nothing for us. And then let's just use, what's his face? Von Runestead. I don't know if this is silly or not, but I think he shouldn't be. When dismissed, add this card to the general cards out and play next year. If he is a dissident, he returns his old guard. Yeah, I think that's just I don't know what that. I think that's them that we're not using, isn't it? So I'm going to use him. Yeah, let's just do it. Right, so 3 and well, actually, there's no point rolling that dice again for the aircraft, is there? Because our air naval control's at 1. Also means they get an extra dice grant. No, they didn't in the last battle because that was in the Western Front. Yeah, because there's no point rolling that dice because if it comes up as 1, because it says in the rules there as well, doesn't it? It says that if it's already at 1, nothing happens. I want to say. Where does it say that again? Roll 1 Western die for each plane symbol, subtract 1. If the air naval control value in the combat's front is 1, there is no effect. Yeah, so there's no point in me rolling the dice for that. So we are going to, however, now roll 3 dice. And because the air naval control in the Western Front is 1, and the Southern Front is 1, they're going to get an extra dice for this. Yeah. Well, this was at least we're getting extra dice for Kesselring. So, right. Well, let's see what we get. So 4 dice coming in here. Oh dear. Well, that's going to be 4 hits, isn't it? Because our air naval controls at 1. Yeah, it is. I'm afraid. If the value is 1, it's equal to 1 hit. So that's 4 hits for them. Oh dear. Right, so in our defence, we've got a black, a grey, a white for the armies, and then we would get an extra white for defending in rough, but Kesselring makes that a grey. So that's all we're rolling, and yeah, there's nothing. The generals aren't helping elsewhere. This could be bad. We got 4 hits. I was just thinking, right, tanks wouldn't have done anything for us anyway there. Well, we've matched the 4. That's as good as we could have got, wasn't it? Yeah, that was. It's still well, it's not a defeat, it's an attrition, isn't it? So 4 hits to their 4 hits. And that's where you would benefit right there if you had that. What is it? Assault guns project, which were. Did we get that started? Yeah, in fact, we're only 1 away from getting that. We're only 1 away from getting that, and that would have counted as 2 hits, and we would have won that combat if we had had that. Alright, it still counts as 1 hit. So, no events to do. The aircraft turns into a hit for them, sadly. So, it's equal to. Axis hits equal to Allied hits. No advance and 1 reduction. Flip the leading general to questioned. Oh my gosh. So Von Rundsted's getting questioned. Well, mind you, when he's dismissed, he goes to next year card anyway, so it's not. So 1 reduction. Let's double check this. Axis defender, attrition. The activated head must apply a retreat or a reduction. I'm looking at Axis attacker, sorry. Axis defender. If it's equal to, it's 1 reduction or 1 retreat. If retreat, flip activated head of AG to questioned. Right, so no, Rundsted's not going to get questioned. It's only if we were attacking there. Retreat or reduction. Well, I don't want to retreat because that then loses me that resource because they come in there. So I've got to take the reduction. It's got to be the Panzer Army. So we take a reduction, and then that's that. isn't it? Yeah, there's no questioned. If we had retreated, one reckon I would have got questioned. But we didn't. Okay, dice can go back. Combat card goes away. I'm going to leave Kesselring there for now. Reckon goes back to in command. And Von Rundstedt has now been activated, so he's an activated pile. It does mean that our highest general now, seniority wise, is a 6, so we can get the 6s and the 5s. So, let's just go Middle East next. So we've got. Combat card first, Grant. You know what? No, I'm going to do this one next. I'm going to do this one next. Because the last two have had been 3 cards. So, in the hope that we maybe get lucky here and not get anything. So, combat in Libya. Is there going to be one? 941. Oh, it's just the same again. They're attacking. Oh, in fact, it's worse. It's 2-year. Well, no, I don't need to roll them. Because again, it's at 1. So, it doesn't matter. So, it's 3 combat dice. Yeah, well, that backfired. Let's see, we'll get the last one. It'll be a no combat. So we do get Kesselring. We've no AG head, however. And Kesselring doesn't help though, because we're not defending in rough. No. They're going to get 3 dice and the extra 1 for their naval control. Right. Let's see if we can find one of these 5s to help us out then. There's got to be somebody here, surely. You would think. I don't think any of the 6s don't. Well, apart from Rommel, which would upgrade this to a Panzer army, I think. But I don't really want to take the chance with Rommel. Well, we are coming to the end of things though, so maybe, if nobody else turns up, so give me a second. Right, well, I'm as well using this guy. This is the guy that we used mistakenly before. And we used it in this area, but I shouldn't have been allowed to use him. But now, my highest seniority general is a 6, so it's the 6s or the 5s we can choose from. So I'm going to choose him. Can be used against any faction, attacking or defending in any terrain. We are defending in plains terrain, so we don't want them turning up any tanks. We get to roll 1 grey die instead of 1 yellow die, and that's his combat roll, right? So that's who we're going to use. Okay, so their die roll is 3 dice, but plus 1 for the air naval control being at the 1 box. So 4 dice. Yeah. No tank. We don't want to see tanks. This is in planes, remember. We've got 1. Oh, that's horrible again. Yeah. Because, like I say, the air naval controls down in the 1 box, so both the aircraft are hits. This is 2 hits, and this is a hit, so that's 5. 5 hits. Oh dear. Okay. Kesselring doesn't help. Von Schubert does. Gives us, turns 1 of the grey dice into a, 1 of the yellow dice into a grey. So we get 2 grey and a yellow. I don't think there's any tank symbols on the yellow dice, is there? No. So, well, yeah, we're in bother here, aren't we? Okay, well, I need 2, the 2 grey dice need to be tanks for me to get anywhere here, I think. Here we go. That is enough. That is it, isn't it? Yeah, okay. No, 2 hits. We're going to lose Libya here, I think. So they've got 5, we've got 2. That's a deficit of 3. No events. That's the aircraft can't nudge it down any, so they count as hits. So Allied hits greater than Axis has apply 1 reduction and 1 retreat for every 2 hit for every hit in the difference. 3 hits we've got to take. So what do we do here? If I want to stay there, I'm going to lose both the satellite armies. And if we retreat, where do we retreat to? Because we can't retreat to North Africa. Can we? No, I don't. No, sure we can't. We can't retreat to Egypt. If more than one retreat or two reductions applied, flip the head of OB to questioned. Great. As Kesselring's got a 6 in his confidence value, so he can only be a dissident. Worst case scenario. I suppose I'd take the reductions and try and, I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to retreat, and where am I allowed to retreat to? Where does it say? Well, it must tell you there about retreats. Right, give me a second. Right, so talking about retreats here on page 29. If the Axis control disk was in the 1 sector, which is where it is, replace the disputed mark in the alignment box with alignment marker of the faction indicated by controlled. So that's going to be Western controlled. Move all the armies in the area to an adjacent area or areas controlled by the Axis or with a disputed marker without exceeding the stacking limits in those areas. Well, we've nothing adjacent that can move to. My guess is that, I mean, we do have a port here, so we're going to Scarpa. Eliminating armies that couldn't be withdrawn because there was no available adjacent area. Well, that might be the case. Further retreats. Well, it doesn't really talk about. Yeah, because there's no adjacent area, I think we just have to give up. Eliminate any armies that could not be withdrawn from the area because there was no available adjacent area, or the withdrawal would violate stacking limits. There's no available adjacent area, is there? No, I don't think so. Let me know if I'm missing something there. Okay, so we're going to take 3 hits. So we're going to take a reduction there for 1 hit, and we've got a reduced army to replace that. So that's 1 hit, and then the next priority is to take the satellite armies. We can't take this as a hit, because even though this goes back to the force pool, satellite armies get removed from the game. But we can't do that. The priority says that the next, because there's no regular or panzer armies there, the next priority is the satellite army. So that's our 2nd hit, and that's our 3rd hit, and these go back in the box. And that's it. So, and then with that, so if we had 1+ retreats or 2+ reductions, flip the activated head of AG and leading general to questioned. Well, there was no AG, so this guy's questioned. So I'll put him up there and find his marker. And it says if more than 1 retreat or 2 reductions applied, we flip the head of OB to questioned. So Kesselring also is going to be questioned. Because it was more than 2 reductions. So that's rather awful. Yeah, I'm looking at it for Kesselring's counter. That's there, isn't it? So I'll flip that to questioned, and then I'll put both their cards up there and flip this guy to questioned as well. Although maybe I should put... Yeah, no, I'll just leave the counter down there. And if the card's there, that's going to remind me. And then there's the counter there. Right, okay. It's starting to get bad, and we're not really into the worst of it, I don't think. The Soviets aren't even involved yet. Okay, that was that combat done. Combat pawn can go away. We're hanging on, but yeah, it's not good. Right, now I've still got one combat to do here, or to check for. So, Kessel Rang. Well, you can still be involved with those questions. Yeah, that's fine. So, a combat card. We get. Oh, see, this is the one we wanted for that, wasn't it? So, it's just a strategic event, 1942. Damn it. And that was a tough roll up there as well. They got one tank. We got none. But we were rolling better dice up here, weren't we? Fun weeks. Maybe I might have been able to help. Maybe, I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. You choose in what order to do them, Grant, and you got it wrong. Right, so 1941, the attack is just a strategic event, so we can get rid of that card, and there is still strategic events. There's no more combat events. Okay, so this would be the Soviet thing moving up. Rudolf Hess flies to Scotland. Yeah, okay. So that's going to apply, and we're getting +2 unrest. Right, okay, that's bad. So unrest goes up by +2, 1, 2. It's only at 1 though, and the USSR commitment goes up to Baltic states annexed. So that's at halfway through now. Nothing more on that. Remember, that symbol doesn't apply in the solo game, and that card's done. It just gets discarded. That was a combat check there. Done. That's all the Western offensive combat. Soviet offensive, there's none. Military directive check with none. Supply check. Right, well, again down here, this is only 1. We get a 1 for that, a 1 for Gibraltar, and a 1 for Crete. So we're getting a +3. We need a 7. So we need a 4 at least. And this time we fail. So 3 + 3 is 6. That doesn't cut it. So this becomes closed. And this becomes isolated. So we can't now upgrade that. So Libya's in a lot of trouble now. But, yeah. Anyway. Right. Victory check. There's not going to be anything. That is us done with the summer of 1941. We're moving into the fall administrative phase. So I'll move that marker along there. Bombing in Germany. And I think I'll just keep going actually. For a little bit. Get this wrapped up and then I'll... What time is it? Yeah, I'll probably just get this bit done. And that'll be me for the day, I think. Okay, so bombing in Germany. This is still at 5, so no issues there. German replacements. Well, we're still at 3 for our Wehrmacht replacements, so that's good. But sadly, we cannot put anything in here now. No, we can't move or deploy, can we? Well, no, you can't. So, what can we do then? 3, yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Grant. You might want to start worrying about southern Italy. No, hold on. No, there's no connection there anyway. They need to land in these areas. So there's nothing adjacent to any of the African ones that way, is there? No. Middle East and Iraq and Iran are going to get attacked. So they're the sort of dodgy areas, I think. Now, I don't want to move that Panzer army out of there, do I? I mean... Oh, yeah, we're getting another... Yeah, we're getting to play this again, the assault guns. Okay, well, fingers crossed. Right, so I need to leave a Panzer army there. I think what I'll do is I'll upgrade this to the other Panzer army again. So that's 1. And then 2, 3. Doesn't really matter. I need to watch what I'm leaving here though. So I sort of want to keep one of each then, don't I? Well, hang on. If I put one of these out here, I get one of these back, don't I? So let's say I put one there. I don't think in any of the areas in Spain's as good as it's going to get. These two, I mean, yes, I could put another, well, maybe I should do that. Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? Okay, I'll do that in Poland. That means that goes back there. And then for my third point, means you're just leaving one of these behind, Grant. Which is sort of risky because if these two were to take a reduction, I'm not going to have 2 grey armies left. I'm only going to have the 1. Right, let's rethink that. Hang on. I've done the 1 Panzer Army upgrade. Let me take this back, I think. That's not as important now. So my second upgrade is actually going to be an... Well, Middle East's worse off, innit? So yeah, I'm going to put it in the Middle East. That's my second point. Yeah, we're running out. We could do some more. I'm hoping maybe next year you're going to get the chance to get some more, maybe, in the force pool. So one more. Yeah, I kind of do want to leave because we're going to get attacked here, and in Spain. And out of the 3 combats, I mean, yeah, we're going to get attacked in Libya as well, but that's really kind of giving up on that, pretty much, almost. But out of the 3 attacks, if we were to get 2 reductions, and I use one of these right now, remember you've got to, well, hang on a second here, let me look at the rule for that. If there's not a grey army available, what happens there? There's something that happens. Reductions, right. Hang on, elimination and reduction. Yeah, here we go. Page 30. So, the order to apply a reduction, follow this priority order. 6.8 army elimination reduction, page 30. If there is a panzer army in the area and a regular army in the force pool, eliminate the panzer army and replace it with a regular army from the force pool. So, right now, let's just say we were having a combat in Spain, and let's just say there wasn't a regular army in the force pool. We would skip by that priority, and the next priority would be if there's a regular army in the area and a reduced army in the force pool, eliminate the regular army and replace it with a reduced army. So that would take, well, okay, that's good then. So I feel like I can place one of these out then. So hang on, I've done one. One was the Panzer Army there, wasn't it? No, it was the Panzer Army there. So that was 1, that was 2. I think I am going to put that third grey out, and then if that grey goes away, I then have to reduce one of these instead of the Panzer Army. So that's pretty good. So are you putting this in Turkey? I think so. Yeah, I'm putting this in Turkey. So yeah, so now, although we've got 1 regular army, but if that goes away, if that gets... I take the hit in Turkey, I take that away, and then we do a combat in Middle East, there's no grey armies left, so we have to reduce one of the regular armies for a reduced army. So we're kind of able to skip by that. But you've got to watch with that as well, because if it then steps down further, it can get worse, I think. Okay, that's our Wehrmacht replacements. Luftwaffe is still at 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, ideally I want to move southern and western. Well, you've got 2 points. I'd kind of like to move southern twice to give it a little bit of breathing space, but then Spain's still going to get attacked and they're going to get the 1 extra dice if you don't move that out. But the chances of them getting aircrafts and rolling on that and knocking it down again anyway. Well, I'm definitely putting 1 into that. Am I putting the other 1 into that? I think I might be. Does Strauss help? See, the other thing is Kesselring helps. Well, he only helps in Turkey. I don't think Strauss does help, does he? No, he's just attacking. So you don't get... Well, we've got down to the 5 generals at least, so might be able to have a leading general that can help. Oh, that's defending in rough, though. So maybe we do lay the air naval control at 1 in the western. Of course, the other thing is, in my movement, I could drop the eastern and move that up. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to put both points into the southern front. Right? And then when it comes to movement, I may knock that down to a 2 to move western up by 1. Just to get out the 1 spot. Strategic warfare, we've got it's set still at 1, so that's been fine. We move that back up to 3. So that's our German replacement. Satellite replacements, well, we've still got a chance of 1 here. So there's two countries involved. We're rolling 2 yellow dice. We're looking for a hit. Oh, come on. Nothing. Right, so we don't get access to any of these satellite armies, sadly. Oh, that could one have been... No, I wouldn't have been able to be allowed with it. It's isolated, so... okay. So now it's a production table. So we've got 14, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14. Yeah, I mind I was just double checking the rule. See, it says +/-1 fanaticism. So it's as if when that track moves to the right, it goes up by +1. When it moves to the left, it goes down by +-1. And I wanted to know if I went like that, is that just -1 or is it -2? Well, it is -2. I checked that up. Because I kind of thought, well, I could just shove that down to there for a -1 maybe, but it's not. It reduces it by the amount that you reduce it. Which I kind of thought it should be, but I thought it was maybe a wee... You could skip, you could... Because it feels like you're not really... Well, yeah. Anyway, right. So, what do we need? We've no military directive, so that can be at 1, which it's already at. The assault guns... We want that the production we want to be at 2. It can be at 4, so all we can get is 2. There's no point putting it to 3. So that's at 2. And actually, well, we've not got a political card to play, so we can knock that down to 1. So that gives us 1 extra point. We can't move the Luftwaffe up because it's still restricted to 2. And consumer goods is at its max, so we're as well moving the strategic warfare up to 2. It might be wasted, but... Yeah, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Now, Libya, I was just checking it. It's not a resource, so we're not going to lose a resource there. Okay. So that's the production table done. So, production directives, which is the only directive we're going to do. And we're going to do assault guns. We can't do Tiger and Panther. USSR's not at war. We've got strategic bombers, but we really need this. Because if we get this, then at least we're going to get 2 hits. We're going to lose that Panzer Army, but... So, yeah, we're going to play our project assault guns again. This better work. This better not fail. So, the prerequisite is there is a Panzer Army in the force pool. There is. So, it's already on the track. It's in the 1 box, so we just need 1 more success It's going to advance on a 2. We've not got the -1 counter on that. So we just need not a 1 and we're golden. Please don't do this to me. Come on. Yes, a 6. That'll it's an overkill, but that's fine. I had to think there though. Is that the 6 or the 1? So success. So that's completed. So let's see. What is it? Projects. Projects 3.2.1. The rulebook. 3.2.1 project cards. If the project card, this is on page 12, if the project marker is moved to completed box, project is completed, discard its card. So, well, I've discarded the card, but the card says the effect. Yeah, I just started wondering there if we had to remove a Panzer army the first time we played it, but no, surely not. So the effect, the guns result grants 2 hits if the Axis faction is the defender. Remove 1 Panzer army from the force pool. So I'm assuming I have to remove this from the force pool. And it goes away and back in the box. The card gets discarded from the game. And this turns over to become completed. If that's focused or not, probably not because it's not in my hand, but there you go. It's all guns completed. I think it just goes, does it go in the turn track? I think that scores us points as well, doesn't it? Or a point. Discard this card, flip the marker to its completed side, place it in the current year's box on the year track. The effect indicated in the project card applies from that moment and is active until the end of the game. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to bother reading the card. I mean, I should remember this one because it's huge. So I'm going to put that in 1941 when we completed it. So anytime now, only when we're defending, we get the anti-aircraft sort of artillery gun. It gives us 2 hits instead of the 1. So, which would have saved us quite a bit in that last combat, wouldn't it? But however, it's there now. The card was a production cost of 2, and we had that set at 2. So yeah, that's fine. And then political directives, we're not playing any. Military directives, we're not playing any. And we're in the fall, so there's no penalty to that. We then come along to strategic warfare, and we nudge that into the operations phase. So the last operations phase of 1941 coming up. I'm going to have to leave things there, I think. I better, I think. I better just leave things at that. Okay, so yeah, that'll be me for it. I might get another bit done tomorrow, actually. I'm heading off to... I'm going to have a wee shot at our car. We got a caravan recently. Just an old caravan. To try it out. And I've not spent the night in it yet. So I'm going in myself. I'm going to take one of the dogs with me and give Tracy a bit of peace tonight. And I thought about taking the camera and maybe recording something. Well, it's just going to chill out, really. But I don't think there's much space to be doing anything. And it's not that I can take this with me. I might still take the camera and chuck something small on the table, maybe. I just ordered a game. It was second hand though, so I was kind of hoping they might come. It's that maybe not something that would interest you if you're watching World War II stuff. It was Vive l'Empereur. It's a solo game, Herman Whitman, about, well, it's a small sort of condensed version of the Battle of Waterloo, I think. But it is a solo game. Looks not too complex, but it looks like it's got enough in it, maybe. Gets pretty highly recommended, so I was hoping that might arrive today and then I could maybe take that down with me, because that's probably a small footprint as well. We'll see, I might take the camera, I might not. Yeah, okay, I'll hopefully get back tomorrow with the next part of this anyway. So, okay, cheers.